On December 14, 2012, 21-year-old Adam Lanza drove to Sandy Hook Elementary in Newtown, Connecticut, and killed 20 children and 6 educators by mistake. Gun violence is a rising problem not only amongst school shootings, but also just the daily death rate of gun violence. Implementing a gun safety course within schools will help create a safer environment within the schools, creating a better environment for the students and staff. Having researched this topic extensively, I hope you all take into great consideration what I have to tell you today. Gun safety is something that affects all of us, not only students, but staffs and our surrounding community. In this speech, I will talk about how efforts to address gun violence has created more problems, how implementing a gun safety course will solve these problems, and how those opposing the gun safety course are not fully aware of how it is working. First, let's talk about a little bit about gun violence. Now, I'm sure some of you are aware that gun violence is typically when somebody hurts somebody due to a weapon. And I'm also sure that because we're in a Midwest state, that most of you are aware of what a gun works and the different types that there are. In Kathy Warren's Salem Encyclopedia titled School Safety, there's been an increased amount of conversation about gun control within politics. And this has even led to changes within our school system, such as resource officers. Now, I'm sure most of you are aware of our local resource officer, Rupert, and have a fairly on and off relationship with him. There has, the amount of schools with resource officers has increased to 43% within the past couple of years, which is more than it should be. However, the reason for putting these officers in is to help create a safer environment so children aren't so scared that something bad is going to happen because there could be a gun in the situation. But what people fail to realize is that these officers are still carrying around their gun and don't actually help the mental state of some of these students that are worried that a gun could get loose and out of control. In Mitchell Chad's journal, teachers are also attempting to search certain schools. The teachers are trying to search the students' bags for weapons, but they are actually unable to do so due to your Fourth Amendment rights, which prohibits people from searching your bag illegally. Well, without searching it without proper authority or we'll go with that. This makes it all the more difficult for teachers to actually control the situation within schools, and it also makes it more difficult for the local resource officers to actually be able to do anything. Now, I'm not saying that he can't he can still take away your jewel for those of you thinking you can get away with it. Now that we've addressed some of the problems that gun violence has made, let's move on to how this course can actually help. In Jessica Sandman's article titled NRA's Gun Safety Course Defines Favor in School Systems, the NRA, or the National Rifle Association, for those of you unaware, created a program in 1988 called the Eddie Eagle Program that the program is designed to help teach students how to properly act if they find a gun in their environment. The environment varies on day to day, but the Eddie Eagle and other bills have been passed to help limit the usage or help students understand what to do with a gun. Eddie Eagle even has a few educational videos, and if it works.
Stop! Don't touch! I'm Eddie Eagle, and I like you too much. You get hurt, and that's why I say, if you spot a gun, just walk away. Go find an adult, go tell him what you found. Guns shouldn't be left lying around. Yeah, stop!
As you can see, the video is a little old, but the message gets across if you're going to show this to middle schoolers or elementary schoolers. In Outdoor Life titled Gun Talk, Arizona schools have went ahead and implemented this gun course within some of their schools. It would be a similar course to taking, like we have here, like welding or automotive. Students are given the option, and they have Arizona Department, or hunting and fishing department professionals who know how to use guns fully and are aware of all the safety precautions they need to take. Teach the courses, as you can see here. Now that we've talked about how this course can help, let's talk about how the people are opposing it. Most people in opposition to this aren't fully aware of why they're opposing it. They're just opposing it because they think they're putting a gun in a high schooler's hand. Such as in the Wisconsin State Journal, a policy for the gun control is trying to be implemented, such as a sport. There was a bill that was being passed, and it was started out as a sports bill, and then some conservative politicians tried to implement this gun control policy within it, and Democrats, teachers, and parents and everybody started to freak out because they thought they were just putting guns in the hands of children, and that the long-term effect would be that these students would then, even if they didn't harm anybody, they would then go into gun manufacturing, which just sets a bad premise, and most mothers don't and fathers don't want their children going into guns. The journal, however, also notes that there was an Arizona teen who has won many state clay target shooting tournaments, and the teen rose the concerns that some of the people on the team can't actually join because they're unable to learn how to properly use a gun. And most people aren't actually afraid of people using a weapon, but they're more afraid of the people who don't know how to use it and have use them. Her father, who was the actual teacher of the clay target shooting team, noted that there are many ways to actually prevent accidents from happening during the class, such as removing the firing pins so the weapon becomes basically like unusable unless you're going to physically hit somebody with it. In conclusion, I've gone over the issues of gun violence and the more problems they're causing, why a gun safety course can help improve this, and how those who oppose the course are unaware of what it actually does. Thank you.